Good Sunday night. I am Thabo Julian. Thank you for joining us tonight here on In Focus. The ANC's National Executive Committee has refuted allegations of bogus delegates at the party's Northwest elective conference. It claims a break-in at the venue saw tags being stolen, prompting a criminal case and a delay in the election of the province's top 5 officials. Voting is now underway, with the rest of the program postponed by 2 weeks. Here's Newzroom Afrika's Pelane Phakgadi to start us off. He's live for us outside the Rustenburg Civic Center. Pelane, good to have you with us tonight. So voting going ahead as the NEC would like for it to continue?
Definitely, the National Executive Committee wants everything to be done. It is very costly to run a program of the African National Congress, and therefore they believe that they've already spent quite a large amount of money for this particular conference. We do know that the African National Congress is having its own financial woes at this stage. So the Congress has to continue. And with news just in is that the plenary had agreed that even the additional members of the province will also be nominated and voted for tonight. That will be another addition on the program, because earlier on they just agreed that it was just only going to be the top 5 position nominees that are going to be voted for, and then they were going to have an adjournment for 2 weeks and then render the rest of the items at least after 2 weeks. But at this stage, we do understand that they will then be concluded. Perhaps let me just give you a little bit of a walkabout here. As you can see, that is where the queue is leading to, at least where there will be movement towards the voting stations. It is for the top 5 positions at this stage, and I do believe it is the region that is busy here now, queuing up here. A little bit despondent. I don't know what exactly is the commotion about. There's been a number of people who have been voting, who've been standing here for quite some time. You would understand that a number of the delegates begin to arrive either Thursday late or even Friday, and at this stage, only now, on Sunday evening, at around 3 minutes after 8, are they beginning to cast their vote for the top 5 officials. This is only the second matter on the program that was supposed to have been adopted, and that program was the adoption of credentials, adoption of programs. After talking to the issue around the submissions of the organizational report, the financial report, and as well as the political report, of which was not done, only then would it have been that they will be able to nominate their top 5. And only now, after hours and hours, not even hours as well, even days of wait, will we have to see we'll be seeing rather the voting of the top 5 of the province of Northwest. Finally, having to give here. Perhaps let's just get a bit closer on for days on. Now that you are just a little bit anxious, Mama, if you can ask a question. You've been on the line for many days, Mama. Are you finally happy that the process of voting is finally on?
Re lapile mare re batla tloga re voutile re tsentse batho ba rona ba tla tsogang ba tsa Northwest ba re ba tshepang ba tla tsogang ba re berekela ka moso mo Northwest.
Definitely their employees. Can you hear the lady? They're saying that all they want to do now, they're just tired, but all they want is to have their chance to vote and then go home after voting, because they believe that they are tired now. It has simply been a number of days since they had begun the program here, and only now are they able to find one another to continue with the official program to vote for the top 5 positions that are at stake at this kind of stage, and as well as to vote for the additional members. We are told that is also in agreement, and just perhaps they could be able to conclude sometime early in the morning. They concluded their first program this morning at around 6 o'clock when they took a break and an adjournment of about 2 hours, but that particular break lasted until 4 o'clock when the program restarted, because of those allegations we were talking about of criminalities, and as well as the storming of the credentials facilities where people stole the tags, and there was also another issue around the cloning of the tags of delegates who are here. So at this stage, finally, are they able to go vote inside, and we'll be waiting for those results for some time. Perhaps at this day, as things seem, it will be announced in the early hours of tomorrow.
And Pelane, we do know that there is a grouping that, of course, says the IPC had no legal standing to organize this particular conference, but also there are also some regional meetings that were held that also had no status to be holding that position because their term of office had expired way past what is being allowed in the constitution of the ANC. So they are in essence challenging this whole entire conference. Do you know if they will be participating in this voting part of the conference?
They are not going to be voting delegates. Their status has since been changed to non-voting delegates to this particular conference. And the NEC is coming out to say that the Constitution allows them to co-opt and as well as to bring in any other people because of their knowledge or skills that they possess to assist a conference of the ANC to go forward. So despite the fact that they are not voting delegates, 52 votes have been revoked, which comprises of about 20 from the IPC, the provincial committee that was interim, and as well as the regional interim structures, which had about 32 votes. They've also been revoked, and only to look at that particular matter, preempting that they go to a court of law and say that their regional standing has since collapsed a long time ago. Therefore, they would not have to render the conference to have been nullified or even illegal. So at this stage, those 52 votes have been brought forward. They will play a role, and that role, it is what the NEC decides them to be playing. Because that was what Newzroom Afrika and as well as Pelane were clarifying to us yesterday, that there could always be a role that they believe an individual can play at a conference, and that role will be identified by them. But they will not be playing any role as a structure as the IPC, and they believe that they've done justice to that particular court case. The judgment that was handed down on Friday that said that the IPC should not play any kind of a role as far as voting is concerned, but they further went on to revoke all kind of activities in as far as the IPC is concerned. So the IPC as a structure will not be playing a role here, but the individuals who are in the IPC could still very well play a role. That is if indeed the NEC decide them to play any kind of a role. But you may ask about the organizational report, the finance report, and as well as the politics report on who will give them. That is a question that we asked the NEC, and they said any one individual directed by the NEC or the conference or the delegates here could very well go and read those programs. But the question has always been who constructed those very reports. Was it the very illegitimate IPC that people have been talking about? That's why there's been threats of litigation that have been talking about the IPC and as well as the regional interim structures. So at this point, we do know that they are not playing any role as structures. 52 votes will not be counted here. As a matter of fact, they will not even be part of the voting packages.
Pelane, Phakgadi, I appreciate your time. Looks like going to be a long night still, as that queue is not even moving an inch at this particular point in time. Pelane Phakgadi is live for us at the Rustenburg Civic Center, watching carefully what the processes are that are being undertaken in that provincial elective conference.